Will you believe me if I told you that almost 2.5 million people have gotten every single achievement in Elden Ring? No? Honestly, I wouldn't either. But I looked it up and goddamn, almost 10% of all Elden Ring players were crazy enough to do stuff like defeating Liurnia, Dragon Lord Placidusax, gathering all the legendary items and spells, and what's kinda extra sick, they all at least replayed the whole game 3 times for different endings. And that's dedication. Or maybe love. I don't know. Both. Maybe it's both. So that's just pretty amazing. But also pretty shameful for me, because here I am being 2 years late for the party and my first real 100% run. But still, even though it's way overdone, I still welcome you. And I want to do it. So let's do it. So for this run, there's only one right decision to go with. And it is the Wretch. And a golden seed, because I suck and I need some flasks, and that's it, basically. You also probably wouldn't believe me if I tell you that I was creating this sick character, Rick, on my own, but I still say it because I like to gaslight you. Introduction. We learn something here. Cryptic. Something about the lands between chaos, civil war, the shattering of the Elden Ring, and a tarnished. Summoned back to become a lord? That sounds actually pretty good, so let's get that story rolling. Oh yeah, fresh air. And killing my first boss. No, a dream. It was all a dream. Maybe there wasn't even a boss, but Daisy? And she gave me drinks? Let's just shove them down. Ignore the tutorial area and run straight to the elevator. Then open door and beautiful. Lands between with a welcoming start in Limgrave. And oh, a greeting. A dude wants to greet us. Where do I have to go? Maybe I run. So after receiving not a single information, I ran for my life and arrived at the church. There I went on my first shopping spree and got myself a crafting kit. Other than that, nothing. I can craft my own stuff. So I continued and eventually reached the next grace, and there I rested. And again, Stacy? And she wants to be my woman friend. So we accepted, because a journey with a woman is always a better one. We all know that. And with Torrent, I'm just Swifty. I can run so much faster. In fact, only a few steps from this grace, I found a map. And that was so much faster with Torrent. And with the map, I started to prepare for this run. The goal was simple, go bonk or go home. So let's see what that club is capable of, because I'm gonna only play the club unless it's getting too hard, then I switch weapon. But let's just see when this happens. So the first step to get prepared is pretty easy, it's just getting items. So I travel through Limgrave, run up a hill, pick up golden food pickle, then continue south till I reach Fort Height and get the Doctor's Medallion 1. Run back in the direction where I came from, and next to a big tree is the spiked Greg tier, which I need for some tasty charge attacks. Then continue north till I reach some church and inside flask. And a sacred tier. Don't mind if I take this. Then run behind the church, take the elevator to travel to the other side of the map. Run down, ignore bird, get golden seed, ignore big dragon, go behind tree, jump, and I'm here. The little brother of Fort Height. Fort Farum. If you spell this like this, shut up. In and up the ladder to get the Doctor's Medallion 2. Parkour your way down, ignore some rats and get Radagon's Sorceal. In fact, my first legendary talisman. Sheesh. Then back to Limgrave to get the strength tier and the holy wow Ashe of War. Then I made a quick detour to North Liurnia and went into a cave. Killed my first real boss with some heavy bonks and got the smithing stone bell bearing number uno for some easier weapon upgrades. Then continued further till I eventually reached the Atlas Plateau and went into the sealed tunnel for the bell bearing 2. And yeah, on my way there I also made a rest and Stacy showed up again and she really likes me, because she wants me to travel with her to a new location, and we say hell yeah. So we got to the round hold table. Our first achievement, so we take that. So now it was almost time to fight the first major boss in this game, Margaret. But before, we have to pick up the Morning Star, go back to Fort Farum and slap that sleeping dragon's ass. Literally. It's the only place where it takes some damage. But you know, look at that. With that damage I would probably need a year to finish it off. But the Morning Star has blood loss. And damn. after some time, we just get there. So dragon almost dead, so we have to consume the gold pickle for some extra runes and finish it off for some tasty, I don't even know how many runes, but they are a lot. And we put everything into strength and a little bit into vigor, I think, if I remember correctly, but I don't know. Then equip the club again and get the final item, the Crack Blade Ashe of War, for some extra stance breaking power. And that's everything. So prepared for whatever kind of suffering was to come, I made a decision to try finishing one region at a time. And with that said, my dear Stormwell Castle, let's have a talk.
Foul tarnished, emboldened by the flame of ambition.
Margaret is kinda talking too much. For my liking too much, because she is so much beneath me. I said, someone who is this much beneath me. That felt good. And you know what also felt good? It was the sound of my second achievement for beating this dude. And did you see, I also got a new talisman spot. So I went back to Mistwood, struggled with a bear, went down under, opened a chest and Axe talisman for some even more spicy charge attacks. So the only right way to play this right now is to go back to Stormwell Castle and to this dude. I don't even know what he's talking about. A secret path, probably just a synonym for his diet. I mean, look at this definition. Holy cow. I want to look like him. But honestly, I don't care. I don't even know why everyone is so aggressive here. It's kinda insane. Roar, roar, go to the gold seed, go to the craze again, and then Godric.
Deliver me unto greater heights. The lowly tarnished, plain as a lord. I command thee.
Godric, the first shard bearer against Rick. Can the Tarnished become the new gods and so be the only one who called himself the real god, Rick? And as anticipated, fake Godric can't do shit. Even though he shows off how handy he is, the way of cutting off his arm and become one big fire fart is way too much and just useless. Because I'm staying close up and just smack him down. So I'm the new ruler of Stormwell Castle and another achievement for me. With him down, I also got my first Great Crown. Basically a piece of the Elden Ring which grants someone special powers. Honestly, I don't need it right now, but what I need is the achievement which sits behind activating it. So for this to work, I have to go back in the direction of the main gate of Stormwell Castle and take a turn to the left. Then dice through some random ass dog and try it again. But this time, run past the doggy, ignore everything, and along this huge bridge where some big dudes were hitting on me, which by the way I don't mind, but maybe ask next time. So run past him, then to the elevator, the teleporter, which gets me to the other side. Then there I opened up a huge door, up the elevator and onto the rooftop to activate my first great rune. And you know, as the new ruler of Stormwell Castle, it was immediately time for me to expand my territory and get the rest of Limgrave under my control. So I went all the way south to Castle Morn. I went inside, up an elevator, ran by some weirdos on my right side, and up a ladder, and all the way back until gravity was calling. Because it was just a jump, another jump, jump, and another jump. And finally I was all the way down. But I'm an idiot. So we do it again. Jump, 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 jump. I realized like after 5 times there's actually a grace down there which I could have activated, but you know, it's too late. It's just too late. You know, if you're all the way down there, then may just go all the way back, because there is another boss fight and this fella just fucked me up, but didn't know I could come twice. So after a pretty bad attempt, I demolished him and another castle was under my control. Haha. So I also got an achievement and I also got my first legendary weapon, the crafted blade greatsword. So that was great. And you know what's also great is that I was almost done with Limgrave. So I just made a quick stop in some dungeon in Weeping Penzuela, made the all too typical dungeon stuff. I ran through, I got lost, I hit some random fire statue which brought me up to the upper level, then I hit a switch and some randomized door which led me to a boss opened up. There I killed the grave digger and with it I received my first legendary Ashe, Ruvel the Headless. Then, as I was about to leave this area and be done with Limgrave, I realized I had to do one last thing. There were runes with some flowers, which can make you sick. Because, kids, that's just how it goes if you don't know what you're sniffing on. So, if you go under the runes, there's a pumpkin waiting for us. Just smash it into spiced latte and your girl will love it. And oh, door. Let's open it and see a weird looking person. Do you want to learn magic? I got asked. No, but I do it anyway. So after that, it was time to return to the lakes, but this time with a real goal. Do you see this big old house in the distance? That's where we wanna go. So run around until we find a random teleporter which brings us right in front of its door. But it is closed, so we can't go through, so we have to pick up this craze right in front of it, jump down this bridge, then a little sprint to the north till we find a sleepy dragon and behind him the key we need to enter. But before we do that, we have to take a quick stop at the top of a hill, right at the beginning of the lakes. Kill Chunky Eden and receive the first legendary spell, Flame of the Fell God. Then on my way back I stopped in a village where I completely, of course by accident, smacked this guy's pot and skip, received Haligtree Medallion 1, which we need later on. So with that done, it was time to enter the study, Raya Lucaria, a place where lots of magic happens and those dudes. Are you fucking spinning me? Well, dodging through and up the elevator, I reached the main area where just one floor above me was the next boss waiting. The Red Wolf of Radagon. Kinda looks like he came straight out of the kitchen. I mean, who let a dog fight with a knife in his mouth? Can't you just hold it with your hands? I mean, no wonder you just suck and I smacked you down. But it's fine. Thanks for my achievement number 6. After that, I just had to see the aftermath of the battle. So I went out and to the right, then to a hidden path which led up a ladder to a balcony which led to us seeing the boss room we just were in from above. And there was my second legendary talisman, the Radagon icon. So I went back down and out, then I picked up another golden seed and went to this bridge where you are not the only one with big balls. And it's easy, just avoid them. Then another elevator, but also a knight. But at least he wasn't bright, because gravity. So up the elevator and open this big old door. There a whole ass family dinner. Kinda wild if you ask me. Renala, the second shard bearer. Do you know what's even crazier here is that I can just let my rage go and decimize all her kids without her even caring. Can I even say that? I don't know. But I love this fight because it is so incredibly easy. If those things wouldn't exist. So again, smack kids and then smack mother. And then phase 2. And phase 2, easy. Just smack her, she can do anything. And second great room for us and another achievement. And the nice part is I didn't even kill her. I mean, how could I? She's a mother. And we need her later to respect our character. So after I got my degree, it was time to go back to the Wild West. I ran past some sunburned chalice, picked up the other part of the map and continued past the ruin till those magic fingers fell down the sky. And you know, those magic fingers only can mean one thing. I'm on the right way. With some swift left and right moves, I eventually reached Carrier Manor, a place where my literal nightmares came true. I mean, you cannot tell me that those fucking creeping ass fingers are not freaking you out. I don't have words for them, they are just so creepy. So let's just do what we can best, dissociate and ignore them. Advance the area till the next grace and out the door across the bridge. Not completely across the bridge, take a brave jump down the platform with an opening, down the ladder and open up a chest and get legendary weapon 2, the Sword of Night and Flame. Then go back to Grace and this time go all the way across the bridge and up the stairs till you reach the next boss, Royal Knight Loretta. One of the best bosses in the whole game, because I didn't die. Then almost hidden in the corner there was an opening which led to the area 3 sisters. Renna, Rani and Rihanna. But we are just interested in one of the sisters, everything else would be creepy. So Rani, it is a woman I've never seen before. But there is a reason I'm here, even though it says no particular reason. Still, she tells us her plan and asks us to serve her, and if a queen asks us if we want to serve her, I will always say yes. She then tells us to speak with her 3 mates, so we do that. First the blacksmith who reads probably something about raising up Rani or smithing stones, one of the both. Then Blade who is an animal, and then Salivus who is an ass and insults us, so we don't like him. But after the good talk we have some information about getting into Nokron and that there is some kind of treasure Rani wants us to get. Then she just goes to sleep and lets us do all the work. But that's for later, because we still have some business left in this area. So all the way north is a tunnel. If we go through and get to the other side, we enter the ruin-strewn precipice. Didn't know this area and the way to the boss there, but it's incredibly easy to describe. Up an elevator, flying thingies, ladder, ladder, death, do it again and ladder, death again, ladder, ladder, elevator and boss. So the boss was the magma worm Makar. Nothing special here, just a stone-like creature with some kind of wings I guess. Not the hardest, especially with a strength build, because some heavy charge checks are just going bonkers here, but we don't mind here, because achievement number 9 is in the bag. So now it was time to travel back to Caelid and the Cathedral of Dragon Communion to get our second legendary spell, Grael's Roar. And if you remember, that's the big dragon we abused in the beginning of the run for those tasty runes, so he was nice, he gave us everything. With this area done, I went to the festival in Redman Castle, where Radan, the next shard bearer, was waiting for me.
Before we begin, allow me to paint you the full picture. General Radan is cursed ever to wander. Eaten from the inside by Melania's scarlet rot, his wits are long gone. Now he gathers the corpses of former friends and foes alike, gorging on them like a dog.
And honestly, what is a festival if it can't fight along a group of heroes? Especially Alexander. I mean, look at him, he's just cute. And man, not only Alexander, but all those fighters made this fight trivial. I mean, sorry Mr. Tiny Horse, but this time I take the easy road to receive my next achievement, and I enjoyed it, because it wasn't a struggle. But he didn't enjoy it, so it started raining stars. Kind of looked like some kind of nuke, so probably something happened probably here on this area. I mean, at least there's a big red symbol on the map, so we will come back to that a little bit later. But first we have to finish off the area where I am right now. So, you know, if you are still in this area, if you run all the way back to the end of it, there is a dungeon, the War-Dead Catacombs. And inside, of course, some enemies and a boss, the Putrid Tree Spirit, which kinda immediately broke my spirit and led me to just make a note and come back later and ignore this fucker. So I went back to the Redman Castle where all the heroes gathered, but this time they were replaced by, you could you guess it? Another boss fight. The double trouble of Misbegotten Warrior and the Crucible Knight. With a way too close of a fight, I managed to snitch myself the third legendary weapon, the Rune's Great Sword. But with the castle done, it was now time to go down under. So I went back to Mistwood and entered the well, the so-called Siofra River well, which led me down, can you guess it? Yes, to the Siofra River. A sick area, beautiful and just amazing to be there at this place. And I even found something special here, a stone, where I can light a fire. But sadly nothing happened. But then I found another. But then again nothing. But then again I found another. And nothing happened. But again. until I found all of them, which triggered another boss fight event. So I just had to go up the stairs where all these thingies light up and interact with the spirit on the end of the platform. Then I got to an entirely new area, like a boss arena with, of course, a boss fight. But he wasn't that difficult, if I'm honest. He just jumped around. I mean, he's a spirit, so we just take that. And we take the achievement number 11. So with this fight I was not done with the river here, but I was not done with the underworld. It was now time to investigate this big opening in Limgrave which the falling star caused after the Rattan fight. So I went in and jumped down till I reached Nokron, the Eternal City. And if you remember, that's the location we learned something about an item which Rani is searching, so we are on the right way here. As soon as we entered there, we immediately got one of the easiest boss fights in the whole game, the Mimic Tier. I mean, we all know the way of removing our equipment, and honestly I wanted to do that, but I just forgot. So it turned out into a quick club versus club to show who the real Rick is, and it's me, of course, and I got an achievement. Then I continued the new path and landed onto some rooftops and jumped from one rooftop to another, and at some point I ended up in front of an imp seal. Stone sword key, open up a chest and get the legendary Ashe number 2, the Mimic Tier. And then if we go further we see a boar. Hello boar. Ignore it and run out down the stairs and find a crate. Then just all the way to the end of this path up the stairs and open another chest for the Finger Slayer plate. That's the thing Rani wants, so remember that. Then just go a few steps back down, use the teleporter and do the same stuff as in the Siofra River. Flame, 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 up the stairs, interact, fight and get another achievement from our next boss fight. So then there's one more thing in this area which can cause some heavy PTSD. After the boss fight, if we run back down the stairs and along this cliff, we can find another path. If we follow it, we reach the Siofra Aqueduct and at the very end of it, the Valiant Gargoyles. I made a quick realization that I do not need this fight at this moment in time. So those fuckers can suck each other and wait for me to come back later when I'm just overpowered and have more sanity, and yeah, that's it. So then I made a quick break for my mental, got myself 2 more talismans and a new tier for some extra possibilities and variation. So first I went to the High Road Cave and kissed that golem's feet in exchange for the Blue Dancer talisman, which increases my damage for less equip load. Then I also noticed I did a lot of jump attacks in my fights, so it was time to improve those. So I went up some tower in Stormwell Castle and got the Claw talisman. Then at last I got the Stone Barb Crack tier for defeating a Putrid Avatar close to Fort Farum, which just increases once again my charge attacks for some extra stance breaking. Or is it just stance breaking improvement? I don't know, something like this. So after that my mental was better and it was time to advance further to the Atlas Plateau. You know, the area in front of the main city where we wanna get. There, right after taking the Grand Lift, you can go right and jump down some stones to enter yet another Ever Jail. So I did that and on my first try got him not. Honestly, somehow I lost my patience here, kinda died like 10 times, which is ridiculous because it's not that difficult and I already fought Godric. I don't know what I did here, but I just sucked. So after all, Godfrey is no more free and I get the Godfrey icon, aka Legendary Talisman number 3. So I take that and ignore this and forget this area. Then I went all the way back up north till I reached a bridge. I took the elevator even more north and then I ran back down south till I reached an area with lightning and an assassin in front of a place I wanted to get in. First off, he fucked me up of course, but with my second try, I just ignored him. I entered the Sainted Hero's Grave, which had those weird shadow creatures where I first had to get into a light source to then be able to deal damage to them. I like this area, even though it's a little tedious. So this time there wasn't a switch to open up the last boss room. I had to fight an even bigger shadow dude, which was acting like a switch. So I did exactly that. So I got him to the light source, then killed him, and the boss room got open, and I killed the final boss, and then I got Ashe, Legendary Ashe number 3, Ancient Dragon Knight Christoph. So after that I was done with this dungeon, and I went back out and I went back to the assassin and killed him. Because ain't no way some random ass ninja dude beats me. So it wasn't necessary, but I did it. And with that it was time to go all the way up till I reached the entrance to the city. And in front of it the draconic tree sentinel. And if you know, you know. With a strength build this fight is getting just funny. 2 charge attacks and he's staggered. Then do this 4 times and you won the fight and you can go in. So I just got the grace on the bridge and then went back to the starting area of the Atlas Plateau. Why did I went there? Because I still had to overcome one thing here. If you travel northwest in this area, you will end up between 2 cliffs at some point. And then you will reach yet another castle, the so-called shaded castle. Somehow I went in and just went the correct paths and found the boss room. Inside, Gelmir of the Briar, not really that worth the mention, but here's an achievement. And he also dropped a legendary weapon. Number 4 Mariah's Executioner's Sword. So we take that. So from there it was now time to advance further to a new area. So I went even more west, which led me straight into the mountains. The way there was pretty straightforward. Ignore them, ignore this, and take a random ladder along the mountain on the left, then take ladder, and then take ladder, then make a big jump and ignore the boss which is trying to kill you, then jump over a cliff, pick up a golden seed, and run to the entrance of Volcano Manor. Inside of Volcano Manor, just speak to this person, blah 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 blah, get a key, open door, find the illusion wall and get lost. Because I still don't have a torch or any light source at this point in time, which is of course my fault, but I tried to get through anyway without any possibility of seeing anything. The only help I had was those measures on the ground, so I kind of found a way and it somehow worked and I found another grace. So from this grace, out the door and right, jump onto some roofs, down into lava and up the elevator on the other side and run to the bridge to open up a shortcut. Then it was time for the Godskin Noble. It was like close to midnight at this point and I wasn't capable of getting this fight done. I tried like 20 times, but my concentration was just gone and my sanity grew. You know, at this point you would turn off. But you know what's happened? Because literally, with the words of, okay, let's just try it one last time, I just got this fucker done and I got my next achievement. So that was a nice moment and I had a really good night's sleep. So I was pretty happy for the next day to continue. And on the next day, I continued. Who would have guessed? So I went through this area until I got to a way gate, which took me right in front of the next boss fight. Shards Bearer Rykard. I went in, tried to hit him, and noped out. I was just weak for this fight, if you're honest. I can't do this. But don't mind if I steal your weapon, my man. I will be back sometime later, and then let's have a talk again. But with that area done, or kinda done, it was finally time to enter the city of Leyndell. I didn't know yet that the game changed here. Look, I'm a fucking ninja now. Assassin's Creed or what? The only thing that would be sick if there was like a Game of Thrones crossover where some dragon appears in the city. Oh, a dragon. Oh, wonder. Let's climb it. Up a ladder and more up and golden seed. Then go up the branches and ignore everything and then Godfrey. I can't ignore him, but I can fuck him up. And I got an achievement. And a talisman spot. So before advancing further up to the next boss fight, I have to go down, because going down results in us getting a legendary weapon number 5. Now we can go up branches, sneak into the bedroom and take a rest. Then leaving the bedroom again and up the stairs for our next shard bearer, Margaret.
My business with these thrones. Thy kind are all of a piece. Bitten by the flame of ambition.
But if you're honest, Margaret isn't any better than Margaret. Both are weak to poor smacking power. So go where you belong, into my achievement list, loser. So after going up to the stairs and interacting with the closed entrance which leads to the final battle, a grace appeared, and with it, Stacy! We got a medallion, so thank you girl. So I had to go out of the city and up the stairs, elevator, big bridge, elevator again, grace, and here we are, the Forbidden Lands. But you know, since they are forbidden, I have to return and finish some other business. Do you remember the finger slaying blade? I never gave it to any, so let's get that shit done. So we did that, she happy, and we get a statue. Well, guess it's not done yet. So let's do the only plausible thing here. Head to the Carrion study hall and place the statue on a desk and turn everything upside down. Honestly, just a sick part to go through. So jump down, but in reality we jump up or something like that. So as soon as we got all the way down or up, whatever, I could open another door. And once again there was a big bridge and I got skin noble to ignore. So if we reach the top of the tower, there's an item, the curse mark of Dephts. We need that to access the boss fight later on, so don't forget that one. Then I made a detour to Caelid, where I continued Sellen's questline. You remember the magic teacher behind the pumpkin post? Right beneath Fort Farum, where we killed the sleepy dragon and got the Radagon sorcerer, there's an illusion wall that leads into the Celia hideaway. And inside is Master Lusat, which we have to free. We don't have to, but we want to free him because he gives us, or we receive, legendary spell Stars of Ruin. Then with that done, we have to go back to Ranna's quest. I went back to her home, but she was gone, and instead a Grace appeared. So I went around and ended up in Renna's, not Ranna's home. And inside, a waygate which brought me to the Ansel River main. There I found a miniature Renna door, and the door somehow gave me some instructions to fight Baleful Shadow. So I advanced further and did exactly that. And as I killed him, I got the discarded palace key. Basically, if you know this area, I skipped a lot here, but hey, who actually cares that I just battled my way through some blobs and a rolling stone to just get another legendary talisman, Moon of Noxtella by the way, or that I just found a piece of map and battled and defeated another boss Dragonkin Soldier of Noxtella, which is just achievement 18, so who actually cares? So I just did that right now, in between, all the way to Baleful Shadow, okay? But honestly, I couldn't even tell you where or how I got there. It's just a confusing place and my memory isn't the best. So I went back to where I got the discarded palace key. And I was now able to get a map. The Lake of Rot. I hate rotting things, especially if it's me. So let's get it done. Platform, little bit of rotting, platform still rotting, another platform and a little bit more rot. And somehow I got to the next Grace. Then a few jumps, I turned left, and I made a nap in a coffin. Kinda insane. So that all is kinda like a weird dream, because I just woke up next to a boss fight, which was Azula, Natural Born of the Void. And honestly, I love this fight. I love celestial monsters and enemies. They are just cool. Even though they fuck me up completely, they are just way too cool to not to appreciate. And what I also appreciate is my next trophy, because I killed him, which is trophy number 19. Achievement number 19. We are not on PlayStation here. So after killing it, there also appeared a sealed off area behind the boss fight. So we have to remember that because we come back later to this. But now it was finally time to revisit an old friend, or rather two old suckers, the Gargoyle-Shasha. Moi, suffer like I did. You two wannabes. I told them I come back when I'm stronger, smarter, better, and we got our achievement number 20. But to let them suffer wasn't my only goal here. I mean, you probably guessed that with the achievement, but there was also something else. You know, another coffin. And we already learned what's going to happen in such a situation. Yes, exactly, nap time. But this time not down, we go up. And welcome to the deep root depths. But first things first, I see roots, so I climb and occasionally make a jump. And this adventure led me into a cave, a crazy one, filled with ants, but not only tiny useless ones, kinda disgusting big ones, especially the ones with the big belly. I mean, imagine if they just pop open. That's not what I wanna imagine. But at least they drop some nice runes. And if you just kill them and advance further, you eventually reach an exit, which we wanted to reach, because there's a chill dude, and in his hands, legendary spell Elden Stars. So with that one in my pocket, I swooshed my cute butt across the rest of the branches and picked up a map, and not far away a golden seed. Then once again I saw roots, that also means once again climb it until there is no more, except a grace and a huge ass area where the next boss waited for me. Fierce champions, or rather fierce losers, because they were not that difficult if I'm honest. Then after that fight, Fear herself should have appeared here, but she didn't. I guess I had to advance her questlines. So off to the round hole table, I went to her and hugged her. And then I talked in secret with her. Which by the way is only possible if you have the curse mark of death. So after that sensual hug she gave me a dagger. I ran a few meters and gave it to D, Hunter of Death. Then I reloaded the area and a new room opened. There, Via stood over Dee's dead body and we talked a little bit and then she just disappeared. And who would have guessed where she landed? In the deep-root depths, where I immediately traveled. So I went there, hugged her one more time, gave her the curse mark of death, which made another secret talk possible where she tells us about her plans of laying with Godwin. Then one quick reload of the section and I could interact with her body to enter the deathbed dream, which ultimately is just another boss fight. The Lich Dragon 46. He isn't just 40 sucks, he just sucks. I mean, maybe I just suck. So I put the task of killing him aside for a few moments and tried something else. So I went back to the library where Renala is still crying. But I'm not here because I want to make her feel better. No, I got a key for a chest right beside her. And inside was the Dark Moon Ring. And that means I can now go back to the arena where I fought Ashe. And do you remember the sealed off area? I can now advance further since it is gone. So I reached the moonlit up to the cathedral and right back down under where I found Rani.
So it was thee who would become my...
All of this was worth it because I got this absolutely legendary banger of a weapon, the Dark Moon Greatsword. But that wasn't everything I wanted to do in this area. There also was an Everjail where I cheesed the Black Knight. And with it I got another legendary Ashe, the Black Knight. Then there was also a spell to get, but this dumb idiot of an imp seal is keeping me away from it. So we have to come back at night, find this ninja Spider-Man turtle on the wall and shoot it. Find another flying in the air and bonk into it, and then another one far in the distance and just shoot it. And that made it possible to get behind the fog and get legendary spell Rani's Dark Moon. So now, without any change, just new motivation and a clear mind, I went back to the Lich Dragon. And honestly, he wasn't so hard. I just had to avoid getting hit here. So I just did that and killed him and got my trophy, achievement number 21. And after that, it was time to advance to the Forbidden Lands. Lots of snow and lots of no's. So run through and avoid. Nope, bye, please don't die, and high castle soul. And grace and death. But also if you run out and go left from this grace, there is another legendary weapon, the Eclipse Shoulder. So from there back to the grace, go outside, sneak jump down and die. Because the elevator isn't activated yet, so go the other route, arrive at the elevator, activate it this time, so you have a faster way to the boss fight, and then fight the boss. Commander, and his two children. And if there's one thing that I'm good at, it's beating up. It's crafting kits, sorry. So with that I crafted my own victory achievement, number 22, and I also got the other half of the Haligtree medallion, which was on top of this castle. So that was a success. Then on my way to the fire giant, I crossed this invisible bridge, where I just had this one dialogue in my head, please don't fall, please don't fall, please don't fall. And then, nice, I did it. And you fucker die. And you too, and then I got a legendary spell. Founding Rain of Stars. Number last, and achievement number 23, because I now got all the legendary spells. So, let's get going. Ignore them, ignore those, ignore this and that and hello Grace. Then go a little further across the chain and hello Ginger Boy. I hate this chain, but I like a feet, so why not smack onto them? He kinda got angry, but I still like his feet, so I just continue smacking them. And at some point, it was enough. Achievement 24 for us. Then I went up another big chain and a big cooking place and a Grace. And you know what? I went to the Grace and... Stacy!
Burn for the sake of the new Lord. Thank you for guiding me here. the one who walks alongside flame, shall one day meet the road of destined death. Goodbye.
Then after she was done, and I was like, where am I now? What are those weather problems? Why is there everything so weird? Is this global warming? Is this the thing that results out of it? I don't know. I only know there's one direction and enemies that are trying to fuck me up. So I just took that grace and came back later because I don't have time for this right now. Because do you remember the 2 pieces of the Haligtree medallion I got? We want to use them now. So I went back to the Grand Lift and chose the secret medallion. And hello? I don't know what, because I can't see anything other than some lights, so I may follow them across the consecrated snowfield, because I don't know where I'm going. At some point I saw a town in the distance, so I may have paid this town a visit. And I entered the Everjail. I light up a flame, then I went some other way, another flame, then another flame, and then another flame, and then I went up some stairs and found a teleporter, which just led me to the Haligtree. There I activated the grace and immediately went away, because I ain't got time for this area too right now, because I had to finish some business in the consecrated snowfield. So first there was a cave somewhere around this frozen river. I went in, rushed through, demolished the boss and got another legendary weapon, the Golden Order Greatsword. Then I followed the river to the other side and at some point went left, just to find a way gate to Morgrim Palace. You know, the area which basically every one of us know, because all of us suckers get most of our runes there if we want to farm something and go the easy route. And from now on, even more people will know it, because it is the area where we entered the DLC. So, you know, that's just a famous place here. But honestly, I didn't want to do anything here except activating the grace for a little bit later, because I don't think I'm ready for killing Morg. I'm just not ready right now. So I had a new thought, go back to Haligtree. Even though I didn't want to do this right now, I will do it right now. So this area, absolute banger. I already love the start of jumping and running down the branches and then just die. Honestly, maybe it sounds a little bit ironic, but it is a banger. I love this area. It has branches, it has bubbles, it has rooftops, magic enemies, so many more magic enemies. And an elevator. And this elevator led me to a new boss. And you know, we love bosses. So we battled Loretta, Knight of the Haligtree. We already battled Loretta, if you remember. So what's the matter here? Thinking she can beat my ass this time? My ass you can. Achievement 26 for us. And we continue. Because after that there were even more steps. Some ladders, enemies, and God bless you, a grace. In fact, the prayer room. Prayer room? Okay. Dear Father in heaven, please let me get through, avoid sudden death from those people, please let me go all the way down and find an imp seal with a legendary talisman behind and... oh, well, my prayer worked. I got legendary talisman number 5, Marika's Sorcery. So that was kinda a nice turn of events. But that's not the only way from the prayer room. You can continue running north until you see a gazebo. There, right next to it, is a room, and in it there is a chest with, of course, a guard, whatever. But inside the chest there is another legendary Ashe, the Clean Rod Knight Finlay. So we take that and continue our way north, east. I don't know, it's going like a curve, so I don't know where I'm going right now. But it doesn't matter. At some point you reach an avatar and some ballistas. We just ignore them and get to the next grace. Then some more branches, a little bit of rod, more branches, then a grace, another branch, and a branch which leads to another branch. Then we find an opening, very carefully fall down and head to those creatures and open up the chest and die. Then run back, pick up the legendary talisman which was in the chest, the Dragon Great Shield talisman. Then we die again and repeat this process. This time we jump all the way down and run for our life, because at the end of this area there's an elevator which leads down to the next grace. And then, oh boy, I think everyone knows what's coming next. Boss. Not any boss.
I am Malenia, Blade of Mikola, and I have never known defeat. I am Malenia, Blade of Mikola.
Huh. See you later. So welcome back to Farum, a place which doesn't need much narration, because you just jump down, run, jump down, down, and foreskin duo. And God, I just tell you, I hate them. I don't hate what I receive here, which is achievement 27, and the last smithing stone bell bearing for some extra smacking power for my club, but I just hate them. I just hate them. What should I say? They are just stupid. I struggle with one boss all the time, but 2 of those fuckers? Man, what the fuck? So we just go further and ignore this area, because after that we get a fresh breeze of jumping. Down, 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 down. Then up and hello craze, and then birds. So many birds. And would you believe me if I tell you that I killed every single one of them to get easier through this area? Fuck no. I panic rolled and sweared on my way all the way to the other side. And hey, dragon. You see them? Let's ignore him too. And I'm almost there. Almost to my next grace. And do you see that? A gazebo, a little bridge where I can go over. But I don't hate elevator. And my next grace and 3 sentinel. Because I can feel overpowered again. Because he's just weak to stance breaking. I love that. So after that, the next fight was the Guardian of Death. Clergyman, Beastman, whatever you want to call him. Or Malekith later on. But he's just boring because Phase 1 is just jumping around, smacking stuff, so just show me your real face. I mean, every time I see this, please don't show it to me, because I know I'm gonna get fucked now, but it's fine. I just try it again, and at some point, I get this fight done, and Malekith is death. And achievement 28 for us.
And the lands between are shrouded by death's dark fate. But the flames will also burn the impenetrable thorns. Farewell it is then. You'll be Elden Lord yet.
So with him down, I woke up in the Ashen City. See, that's what happens when you try to fix things, kids. If you try to save the world from death, or bring back death, rather. So the whole world goes to shit. So don't do that. Or maybe do it. Just do it better than me. Oh boy, I will be fucking lit with my new plus 25 club. Then next piece on my agenda was to clean up this run before I was entering the last battles and New Game Plus. So next off was returning to Morgrim Palace to kill one of my last shard bearers. But honestly, at this point it was time to get a little bit defense because I get one-shotted. Even though it means I have to hide my cute little butt. But we have to make sacrifices here. So I got an armor which increases my jump attacks by 10%, and I bought armor which I occasionally used from this point on. So next boss, which will be one of the most famous ones over the next weeks, because everyone tries to kill him, because everyone wants to play the DLC. So get over it and get done, because you will know this fight better than everyone else. So achievement number 30, done. So next off, I had to pay Riker a visit. I was confident in getting something done here with my new armor and max level club, but honestly, I got humbled real quick and I thought, fuck you, why should I suffer? Let's use that weapon the game wants us to use, the Serpent Hunter in his ass and achievement into man. Just pretend we use the club here, because why not? But that's not all. After killing him, I had to get back to the beginning of Volcano Manor and speak to this dude Bernard. You see in a second why I have to speak to him. Because if I make my last cleanup route in Farum, Azula, if you run the opposite side of the direction of the Malekith fight, you get to a balcony. And if you jump down and go to the tower which is on the end of this bridge, Bernard comes and invades you. You just have to kill him and receive your last legendary weapon, the Devourer's Scepter, and you get achievement 32. Then, in the tower there's also a chest, open this up to get another legendary talisman, the Old Lord's one. Then once again, I'm not done with this area, because there's always one last piece of suffering. Great Bridge again, Grace once again, this time elevator down, outside, and who would have guessed, jump down, 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 lay down, and then Dragon Lord Blazedusax. And that fight was difficult. Holy moly. I did no damage and my spirit was broken because I played too much of this game today. But honestly, the spirit of my Mimic tier was not. My Mimic tier did great. That fight just got on my nerves. Always teleporting around, completely wrecking me, and no way in hell I would do this without a Mimic tier right now. So I just take this because I also have in my mind that I have to fight Malenia right after it, so suck it, dragon. Achievement for me, and suck it again. So, you know, I mentioned right now that I still have to fight Malenia. But she also has to wait a few more minutes because my mental isn't ready yet. So I went back to the city of Ashe, and somewhere on a rock between those bastard creatures, I found my last talisman. Then I also went up the elevator in the Ashen area, and Sir Gideon, just die. Why are you even here? You are just annoying. Then once again, I followed up the branch and found a craze. Then up the stairs and one of the last battles. Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, aka Hoaralu.
It's been a long while, Morgoth. Long and hard didst thou fight. Tarnished warrior, spurned by the grace of gold. Be assured the Elden Ring resteth close at hand. Alas, I am returned. To be granted audience once more.
Which, yeah, just jumping around, just a nice battle, which I've done many times right now. So, trophy, achievement 35 for me. But then I wanted to go to Malenia, but I forgot that I still have this one dungeon in Radahn's arena left. So, stupid as me went there and pushed this enemy into the ground and got the last legendary Ashe, and so achievement 36. Then I went back to the Haligtree one last time, and Malenia. I don't even know what I should say here, because it was close, but really it wasn't close, because phase 1 was actually possible for me. Especially with the stance breaking of the club, it was good. Stance breaking is really good against her. But phase 2, man, I died often. I don't know how close I came, but not like that you can say I had a chance or something like that. So after like 50 deaths or so, I had enough. Or rather, I didn't had enough, I just had no more time, because I had to finish this run right now, because my time management is horrendous. I wanted to finish this run and make this video before the DLC comes out, and I'm also just way too late, because tomorrow the DLC comes out and I don't know how I should finish this, but okay. So instead of the club, I got myself the Star Fist, and after a few tries, achievement 37. That felt kinda good, but also I felt a little bit bad, because I wanted to beat her with the club, because that was an achievement I wanted for myself, but it's okay, it's fine. So I went back to Leyndell and ended the final battle. And honestly, after Malenia, laughable easy. Okay. I mean, maybe I shouldn't forget I died like 100 times in previous runs to Radagon and Elden Beast, so it should be somehow easy with decent damage, but let's just pretend I'm good here, okay? Just one time. Elden Beast is no more. My first run, almost done. Just one more click.
battle is over, I see. I do solemnly swear to every living being and every living soul. Now cometh the age of the stars. 1,000-year voyage under the wisdom of the moon. Here beginneth the chill night that encompasses all, reaching the great beyond. Into fear, doubt, and loneliness, as the path stretcheth into darkness. Well then, shall we? My fair consort eternal.
Then for the last few trophies, we just have to do one little thing here. Replay the game 2 more times with different endings. So, pretty easy, let's do it again. Fresh air, but let's change the weapon for this run. Since I did great, I want to take the Great Club this time. So, let's continue. Tutorial boss, yes. Wake up, Stacy. Skip tutorial, elevator, open door, meet Stacy. Get to the Stormwell Castle, kill Margaret, go through the main gate, Golden Seed, kill Godric, Liurnia, get key, and the Academy, kill the Red Ginger Wolf, kill Renala, realize you forgot medallions, get back to Fort Farum, get the Doctor's Medallion 1, get the Doctor's Medallion 2, then Grand Lift. Activate it, and hello, Atlas Plateau. Golden Seed, again Golden Seed, then big dudes, fuck 3 Sentinel, enter the city, parkour, up the Stone Dragon, kill Bling Bling Boy, kill Morgoth, get Medallion, run again for ages, kill the Fire Giant, Sucker Punch the duo, kill Malike, wake up in the Ashen City and look up where to go because I don't know shit about the next ending. So apparently for the next ending I just have to run straight and find an opening to the subterranean shunning grounds, which are directly under the city. Right under there, I just have to get lost and run around half a century until I find some opening in a tube. There I had to get in and follow a rat, which somehow brings me to an area where I would fight another boss, which in fact is Morg. Again, the Shadow of War version of him, but also achievement 39, so we take that. But he wasn't especially interesting here. What was more interesting was the illusion wall, because if you hit it, you can go through, because it's an illusion wall. Then you just have to parkour your way all the way down. In the process, die like 10 times, but that's just casual stuff here. Then you have to find a secret door, get naked, then go through and get fingered and receive the frenzy flame. Now, since we inherited the Frenzy Flame, we can now continue. Gideon, Horaru, Rather Beast, and Flick. So, last trophy. Let's do it again. New game, plus plus. So, fresh air. This time, Stone Club. Death, elevator, him, death, sit dog, witch. Piece 1, piece 2. Up the elevator, sit, parkour, dude, normal god, ginger, fuggers, big fog, Poirolu, 2 in 1, and click.
The fallen leaves tell a story of how a tarnished became Elden Lord. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Our seed will look back upon us and recall an age of fracture.
We did it. I did it. It's my accomplishment, so I did it. Thanks and bye. See you in the DLC tomorrow.